Hi, everyone. YouTube tells me I'm live. If you can hear me, would you please give me a thumbs up in the live chat box so I know that YouTube has allowed us to have a good connection tonight? So there is a 1 second delay on the live chat. So you may not get your thumb up right away. I'm seeing one from Chantel. I'll get a couple more and then I'm going to go ahead and get into the official welcome. Or Chantal, sorry. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I haven't done one of these in a long time, and part of the reason is they're kind of draining to do. and But this is a perfect time. My daughter and grandson are trying to keep a virus to themselves. I had the whole day to myself, and so I had time to prep and get some extra rest and be ready to do this with you. Now, if here's what's going to happen with the live stream. I did have one viewer, and I will ask your permission and your patience. I had one viewer who's a regular viewer, has been just a supporter from day one. Her name is Bara. She's in Germany. She is not on signed into YouTube, so she emailed me some questions. I'd like to honor that and do one of her questions with a deck she sent me. I'll explain and I'll insert that at some point. But you might notice behind me, setup's a little different. I got out a lot of decks, and there's 8 here, 9 total if you count the one I'm going to use for Bara's question. But you will have the option of helping me choose decks 1 through 8 for questions. That's not a guarantee that I'll get through 8 questions. You know, I tend to talk. I'm sorry about that. But with no recaps, it should go a little faster. What I'm going to do is look at the chat, and if I miss your question and you think I just missed it, you're welcome to type it more than once. If you know how to copy and paste, don't flood it, please. But when I get ready for another question, I'm going to look over here at the chat, look through, see if there's something that's good to work with, and we'll do that. And then I'm going to ask you, just like I did for the thumbs up, I'm going to ask you to help me choose the decks, and they'll be out of play once I use them. So we'll see how that works. I'll set them behind me as I get done with them. So you're in charge, though, for keeping track of the decks. Okay, here's how I'm numbering them. This is number 1, 2, 3, which is the one I usually use in most of my videos, 4, 5, 6, which was the gold foil deck that Audrey in Connecticut sent me, 7, and 8. They're all Rider weight decks. They range from regular size down to coupe size, like you can keep in your purse. So with that being said, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2 for a live stream. I'm so glad you're here. I really am. I appreciate each and every one of you, especially those contributing some positive energy to this. Real quick, if your intent is not positive, we as a collective reserve the right to send that negative input and energy to be transmuted by our living creator, the creator of all creators, the source. And we will do so. So if you remain with negative energy, you can be skeptical, you can just be viewing it, you can be laughing at my double chin. I don't care about that. But if you're contributing negative energy, we are going to consider it a gift that's being sent to be transmuted and do that with it. Okay, so let's get to this. All right. Okay, let's see. Now, Fran Comporiel says no sound. Is she isolated in that? Okay, yeah, I see she kind of is. Okay, so Play to Win said, watching the US debt clock grow by 1,500 new millionaires every day. So how much longer for you? That's a personal question. And you know that the tarot deck doesn't do when questions very well. We can sometimes take a window of time, like in the next 6 months, and get some information that way. But if you're looking for something for Tuesday, Wednesday, you probably need to be using a pendulum in your home. Okay. All right. So Diana wants to know if you can ask personal questions. I'd like to have them. They can be regional, like if you have a question for your community. I did have one that Bara said about the Menominee River that's between Michigan and Wisconsin. So that's a regional question that I'd be happy to take on. But no, these aren't free personal readings. I'm sorry about that. They're topic type questions. Okay. So, chemtrails, good or bad? Okay, now I kind of avoided reading on those because I think the technology is still available to both sides, although not nearly as much. And I hear that the good sides are putting out um, counteracting agents to clean up the earth and cleanse the ground and to heal us. So I think it kind of varies on where there's still a toehold for the deep state and evil. But let's ask for insights and information about. I'm going to do it as a comparison read. Good chemtrails, bad chemtrails. Okay, 5 cards each, and then the advice is going to be really important. So we might get an additional card for further advice. Okay, so since I'm doing the chemtrail question, the third person that gives me a number here, 1 through 8, is going to be the deck I pick. Okay, so now is your time to give me a number. What deck do I use? 4. Lone Wolf was the third number, and Lone Wolf said 4. I'm going to change the camera, and if I can figure out how. And we'll get to that. Okay, let's see. Hmm. Okay, hang on with me, folks, here just a second. Nope, I don't want that. Okay. Okay, I'm not having a lot of luck with any changes. Changing the camera, and I have the camera all set up. So I may have to just move the camera here. Okay. I didn't want to, and I apologize for that. But I am not seeing a way to change my camera like I can when I record video. Okay, so number 4, change it here. You can see my spare bedroom, which thankfully is clean. Okay. Okay, the angle's going to be wonky, guys. I apologize for that. But I want you to be able to see me work with the cards always, always. So deck number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're doing a comparison read. Chemtrails. The question's starting at 5:07 for one of my moderators taking notes on that, because in the video description box, I'll try to let people know when a topic was tackled. So if they don't want to listen to the entire live stream, they can do that. I hope by turning my camera like that, you can still hear me, even if the sound isn't ideal. I'm not a technician. I just do the best I can. Top row is going to be good chemtrails, information about it, where the deck really wanted to get that one up there. Okay, and the bottom row is going to be the bad chemtrails. Okay, 5 cards. Okay. We have the 2 of Swords, 8 of Wands, Tower, Hermit, kind of overseeing that. Kind of interesting, huh? Okay, so the situation is the first card. Okay, we got the 4 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups, Ace of Swords, and then the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, remind me, guys, was the bad one the top one? Sure looks like it is. Okay, and it's kind of stopped. Okay, top was good. Okay, so here's what's happening with the top one. Top is the good stuff, okay? The situation is the Two of Swords is giving us some indication that they're the good is not, they're not able to at this time um, address the cleanup as much as they'd like to. Okay, the uh, the hidden information is the Tower moment. Some of that is pivotal because they have a certain amount of available equipment, manpower, and time. And so they're working hard to affect this Tower moment to make some changes. Okay. So that's the hidden influences, is that it's just a um, kind of a priority thing. Now, look here, we've got the Hermit shining a light on that. Again, we've got some divine help bringing our Earth towards some big changes as a planet, as an Earth plane. And ultimately, we've got the sun showing up here for our potential outcome. And the sun is everything falls into place. Okay. So that even though the bad ones have had, they've had a really joyful time poisoning us and continue to do so in some places, the it's not going to last forever because things are going to change. Now, if you are familiar with my community notes, I had a reader who submitted the way that they clean up when they feel like they're getting bad chemtrails overhead. They use vinegar and steam it. So you might want to go back through some of my older notes and see that. I've seen it. It's easy to see that the graphic I used was a big 1 gallon container of 25% vinegar, and it can be purchased at any hardware store. I saw some at my local Lowe's just the other day. So, and it does seem to be effective as far as cleaning up your area and a ever wider circle. So something to think of. So there is some advice, something we can do to help the process along. Now, here's the bad ones. What's going on with them? They've been really happy with how they've done. So they were hoping we would overlook their shenanigans. And for a long time we did. I still get people when I say that's a chemtrail that's being laid, that's false clouds. They still look at me like I'm wearing a tinfoil hat. Too bad. Okay, clarifying it again, just they were really happy with that. Now, let's look at hidden influences. We, ordinary people, are influencing the fact that that's changing. Some of it is the White Hat Alliance taking out the technology, taking away the capability from them, destroying planes, and the fiat dollar not buying what it used to buy is helping in a lot of ways. The advice for us here is the Ace of Swords. And that's kind of cool because that's our advice for what can we do. And I love that it showed up. It's a victory card. Okay. It's just let's manifest a victory over evil and help it to become a thing of the past, to make them ineffective. Again, we people, ordinary people, not just the White Hats and Alliance, we ordinary people that are learning the power of intention and manifestation are affecting a change here, and it's going to be successful. Look, we've got the Ace of Pentacles showing up here. Again, the possible outcome for us as we oppose this and say, I do not, pardon me, I give no consent to have chemtrails overhead that are nefarious and harmful. I make manifest anything that comes from the skies to be beneficial or transmuted to beneficial, no matter what the original intent was. That's powerful, guys. You use your powers of manifestation, your powers of consent to help. And it's we, the people, that are going to help make those changes and take away that satisfaction that they've had in the past. Okay? The White Hats specifically can work on removing the technology, the access to chemicals, to hardware, to things like that. And they can, and they will, and they have, and they will continue to. But we can oppose it, whether it's as simple as boiling a gallon of and letting it evaporate a gallon of 25% or stronger vinegar. Whatever it is, we can do it. Okay, I'm going to come back to you here. least a little bit. I apologize for that. Um, see my high-tech webcam holder? Okay, this deck is done being used for the day. I'll put it up. If for some reason we get into more than 9 questions, at that time, then I'll use my selenite bar that you can see here to do a fast cleansing and recharge of the energy. Okay. All right. This is interesting. Joaquin Sandval said, "Good evening from Stockholm. They say it's going away from me. Come on down here. Come back. Come back. They say the light's supposed to come from the north, maybe Sweden. What is the card saying about that?" Okay, now I assume you're talking about the celestial event, the light that's going to that we're waiting for the flash. Okay, so let's ask: is there truth to the speculation that the flash will kind of come from the north? And are there insights and information available to us about this upcoming flash event, however it unfolds? Okay, the third number I see is the deck I'm going to use. 4 is not in play anymore. So there's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. It'll be deck number 2. Okay. Lay it down a little bit. Important question. Okay. Now, what I did for these decks is I got them out. Like I said, they're all some version of the Rider-Waite deck. And I just tapped them on the selenite 4 times, told them they'd be used tonight. They might be used for a comparison read, for a 3-card quick answer, or a Kachina knife. I couldn't know which, but I would appreciate them working with me in love and light positively as much as possible for any question we have. So our question for the cards, again, is there any truth to the speculation that the flash event that we're anticipating to make a big major change in our world is going to be coming from the north, and other insights and information the universe wants us to know? And I'll just do a Kachina knife spread for this. So since I just specified what type, I'm going to give it a couple more shuffles so the cards can get into whatever order they want. If that sounds a little woo to you, just roll your eyes. But I don't keep my methods a secret. And I truly do believe we get communication. I think it's no different than when people ask God for a sign. That's kind of what we're doing here, but we're allowing the cards to be the vehicle of that sign. And if that offends you, then, go watch something else. I'm not pushing. You didn't pay an entry fee. I'm not pushing you here. We got into heavy duty questions fast. And the next one I will do Bara's question about the children. Okay. So we have the Strength card, Queen of Wands, 5 of Swords, 9 of Cups, 7 of Wands, Magician, and the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, I'm not seeing a hard yes here. That when the flash event comes, it's going to come from the north. It is going to be incredibly strong. It is going to affect some changes to our world, absolutely. But don't get a direction. So it may be every direction at once, actually, when it actually ends up happening. So interesting. The recent past card, someone was asking me how these work, and I'm just going to real quick go. This is recent past, present, near future. And then this is your question or situation and a little more about it. These are insights and information, with the strongest one being this one. Okay, so Strength showed up for this situation. Nothing can stop what is coming. It is coming. Queen of Wands, letting us know that card of optimism. So when it does come, it's a good thing. Absolutely. No worries about that. Near future. Okay. There have been events. There was a readiness for this plane of existence that had to be achieved before the event can and will happen. But we have taken the steps needed. It's very, very close to being manifest. The magician is the author and kind of in charge of manifestation, does so with balance and an infinite access to resources. So again, there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that when there is a change, it does affect all of us, and it's going to be in a way that we're pretty happy with. Absolutely. So I like I said, no hard yes yet. I'll get two more cards. We'll see. About the North question, I just get that it's going to be so strong, it's going to affect everybody at once. King of Pentacles, a lot of sovereignty indicated there, and tangible goods, and the Hangman. So an important question here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcanas, and we've got the Hanged Man showing. So ultimately, we're going to be looking at a lot of things in a new way, including ourselves. I think normally one of the things a tarot card reader does is, as cards show up, we see what our eyes focus on, because it's not the same thing every time. This is kind of strange, but it's really true. And normally where I just see this as like that aha moment, I think it's kind of a nod to the fact that we're going to have some structural changes happening with this event. So I'm giving a little more credence to the thought that our bodies are going to be changed in this process. And so the light body may actually be one of the end results of this event when it happens. And mankind is just about ready for it to happen. We've done some hard work, guys, and got ourselves out of almost a 2D type of reality that evil wanted us in as their livestock and slave labor. So, good deal. If you're experiencing some buffering on this video, I'm sure YouTube is monitoring it, and I apologize for that. I would hope they trust me not to use any profanity or say anything, and I'm not a person that advocates any kind of harm to others, so ever. So, but they may be doing some checking, and that's their right to do so. Okay, so this deck is now out of play. We have decks 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Okay. Kathy's in the clone station in repair mode. I think that's okay. Hang on, let me go back up here and see if that was a question. Okay. Now, again, Sherman's got a great question, but he's asking a when, and that would be something that you might want to use a pendulum or go to any of the pendulum readers that you like here on YouTube and see if they'll address that for a when type of question. Okay, so Play to Win says, and I love Play to Win, whoever he or she is. I'm still waiting on the fake alien invasion. Hey, let's do a read about that. Is that still a possibility, one that's in play, and other insights and information, of course, to allow the universe to have a little input for us on that. So let me get this running again. Now, at this point, now that we have our question picked, give me the next 3 numbers. I'm looking at Nasserine Johnson. 3 numbers after him is going to be the deck I use. 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Give me some numbers, guys. Okay. Genevieve says 8. Got it, Genevieve. Okay, so is a fake alien invasion. We'd like a indication of the likelihood that that is still a an option that is being favored or considered, plus other insights and information. I've had twice in the last month that I have been fooled by an AI photo thinking it was real, just of a area of the world that I'm not familiar with, or a natural, um, you know, item that I didn't know about, and one was a bird and one was a tree. And so it's amazing. Now, I'm not a photography expert either, or a Photoshop expert. So I know they've got a lot of capabilities. So we're going to ask, is a fake alien invasion still an option that might be in play, plus other insights or information? Be a Kachina knife spread, possibly with 2 extra cards. So let me give it a couple more since I finally specified the setup. And we'll see what the universe has to say. Okay, we've got the 7 of Wands, 3 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 4 of Cups, Cups and Wands, Hangman showing up on this deck too. And then we have the 10 of Wands and the 3. No hard yeses again, but we were asking, is it still an option that they're kicking around? And are there other insights and information that we should know about? Okay, so the situation. Okay, they're determined whatever they do to have it be effective. Okay, because they want to have it be successful when it is. In the recent past, though, again, humans are wising up. Okay, we are. We can be fooled, but collectively, not nearly like we used to be. Okay, the entire collective consciousness of the human race is raising, and our vibration is rising. And so they're not as effective as they've been in the past. Okay, so I'm getting here now with the present, with this kind of, it's not, they're looking at some other options for things that could still put into play with their lessened resources to fiat effectiveness and things like that. As it's not as likely as it was. Okay, and they're trying to do some strategizing. Now, the deep state is not very good at innovative thought, as we know. What they tend to do is, if it worked in the past, they just do it again harder. So they're trying to come up with some new ideas. Okay, it's not going very well for them, not very well at all. The ones that they do have, though, they feel confident that they could still be effective. In other words, the big diversions, the things that will create a lot of loosh, okay, and a scared panic reactions among people. But they don't have the capability and the access they used to have. So they're really having to not only go to plan B, but maybe C or D for what they're doing. Yeah, they're up against it. Got the 9 of Wands telling us a little bit more. And then a reassuring card with the 9 of Pentacles showing up. So again, it's not seriously in play, and they've lost some of the capability they have. The human race is kind of, even though we can be fooled, like I said, not to the extent that we were in the past. So that's really good, really good. So yeah, we may still see them attempt something like that, but it's really not going to be as effective as they want. Not nearly one. And the credit goes to us for for waking up, or raising our vibration and understanding what that means. I mean, 10 years ago, I didn't even know what that phrase meant. 5 years ago, I might not have been clear about it. And, and at first I thought it meant you have to stay happy, joyful all the time. And no, it just means that you have to kind of raise yourself up and kind of view yourself on a higher, lighter plane as you handle everyday life and go through things. And they're not all pleasant, but you try to handle them and respond to them in the most loving way possible. And you learn that difference between responding and reacting. And that all helps to do the rise. Do you know when I finish a show with you guys, I usually it's usually the first I don't edit. So whatever goes up, I did the whole thing in one shot, one sitting. I frequently don't remember exactly what I've said because I don't know that I subscribe to channeling per se, but I do ask for some help from my loving creator and my higher self as I talk. And so sometimes I get off on a tangent and I'm kind of like, I can't remember. And I had another tarot reader that told me the same thing. I can't remember everything I said because I'm kind of in the zone. And so that happens. So I'm zoning with you guys. This deck's out of play. Now, I said the next step is my question about the children. Bara sent me this deck, the Chubby Bunny deck. It's a tarot deck with based on the Rider-Waite. And so I'm using it to honor her. Please, though, folks, don't send me tarot decks. Let me just say, I've had some people send me some that were used, and it may have been a very heartfelt, loving gesture, but I'm not comfortable using a deck that someone else has handled, especially if I know that I am not in the majority in how I use tarot, with the protections I put in place and the fact that I don't want to channel from open sources. So I'm not going to, I will not use a deck that's been used, number one. And number two, I've had people send me some and I don't think their intent was all that benign. There's decks I won't use. The one that Aleister Crowley authored, I won't use that deck. So don't bother sending me decks, period. I want to buy my own and select my own and use my own. So while I appreciate, and this was a gift deck and I've got another gift deck over here. That deck though came new from Amazon and I worked with the giver. They said, is there a deck you've been wanting that you don't have? And I said, well, I don't have a gold foil deck. I'd love to try one. So that one I worked with someone on, getting it. It was a gift that is appreciated. But out of the blue, I've gotten used decks. I've gotten Aleister Crowley decks. I've gotten ones I would not use or even keep in my home. So please don't send me tarot cards. Plus, as you can see, I've got plenty. And this isn't even all of them. Okay, so Bara's question was, she wants to know how close are we to saving the children that are still in harm's way? And remember, I have to be careful how I phrase things. We know there are still children that are in harm's way. They have not all been rescued, especially in the country that starts with U, where they're still doing some manufacturing. I took it as a good sign that a lot of times they're having to do a mix of synthetic party product with the derived from human product. So obviously they've got less access, but we want, and I know to get everybody safe, we're going to have to go through that flash event and just have our world be on a whole different plane of existence. So we're asking though about the safety of the children that are in harm's way. Where are we at getting them out of harm's way, and advice on what we can do to assist the process? We've already been told tonight that with the chemtrails that we are making a change in them. We've got an effective strategy for doing some cleanup from the ground with the vinegar. Our powers of consent, our powers to transmute energy and claim it and name it is huge. What can we do for the children? Okay. Okay. We have the Queen of Swords, just a suit, another sword, Knight of Swords. Look at the determined faces on those little bunnies. Can you see that? This deck is available on Amazon. I do know that. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. There's two. They were stuck together. But yeah. So this is my King of Wands, another Wands card showing up here. And these were thoroughly mixed up, absolutely mixed up. So that this is what they want us to have. Then the Queen of Wands. So we've got Wands and Swords showing up here. Okay. We have the Knight of Wands. Empress, the epitome of maternal love. Okay. So that's looking good for the future. And then Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So where are we at as far as safety of children that are in harm's way? Queen of Swords says that they haven't been forgotten. They're still, it's very important, okay, to understand that there is a lot of resources being used, and it's important to the white hats and to we good humans across the planet to get every child safe. It may not end up happening, but that's the goal. That's the goal. This is all for the children. Okay. Knight of Swords, white hat card again, very determined. So the white hats, and we are white hats even if we're not on the battlefield. Okay, we are when we're adding our energy to the collective to saying this is what we want. This is the world we want to live in. This is the world we refuse to live in anymore. And the White Hearts are absolutely determined to bring everyone to safety. Okay, now I think we're getting a nod to how close are we with the King of Wands showing up here. There have been a lot of rescues, absolutely. This is a card of leadership, honor, and just wisdom. So they've outsmarted the opponent time after time, and many children have been rescued. Okay, Queen of Wands showing up here for the current, and that's kind of telling us that we have reason to be optimistic. Okay, now she is almost, first of all, she is trustworthy and trusted by more than just her peers. Okay, I say that because there's always this little cat indicated here, and the cat has turned its back to the queen. So cats don't do that unless they know they're safe and they're with someone they're safe. So a lot of safety of little ones is important to the Queen of Wands, and it's an optimism card. So yeah, there are children still in harm's way, absolutely, but there's fewer than there ever been in the last 50 years. And we're not going to stop till they've all been helped or we found out what happened to them. Okay, so now near future, got the Knight of Wands showing up here. And that's a very energetic card. So it's just telling us that there is still a lot of commitment to bringing children to safety. And remember, some of them have never seen daylight. Some of them don't know what it's like to be in a family setting or what have you. Some of these rescues are from children that have been pulled from families, but some were from some that were bred for the purpose that they're being used for. Sad to say. Okay. Now, a near future card looking good here. We've got the Empress again. Yeah, we've got some very strong life force energy that is invested in stopping this use of humans and human DNA and human materials for products. And I'll just leave it at products. Okay. And the Wheel of Fortune is changing, going towards the light ever on political situations. And this is one. So it's, let's take some satisfaction that many have been rescued, that the energy to continue the rescues hasn't abated at all, at all. Going to get two more cards here because we were also looking for a little bit of advice. Okay, Two of Wands and the Lover's card. Okay. All right. So again, with these twos showing up, we're getting kind of advised here. First of all, the path ahead it's clear, and the path ahead is ever more light filled. The Lover's card is a card of putting others' needs ahead of ours. So if you have an opportunity to help in some way with a little one who needs some love, offer it. Okay. And as always, always remember your powers of consent. I give no consent for any human child or any created human child, because some of them have been, to be used for nefarious purposes. It may still happen, but it will be absolutely with zero consent on my part. And my energy is being sent towards manifesting a world where every child is welcome, nurtured, safe. All right, that's it for this one. Okay, I'm gonna back up a little bit. Let's see. God is love said, I only feel love and light from you, Laura. Please, I'm glad. I do. I pray before every session. I'm very careful to direct my energy to what I allow in and who I rely on. Okay. Howard Mann wanted to know about the cannibal in Haiti. I read on him already. Someone on him. He's being propped up by three-letter agencies, so he's going to be around for a little while. Okay. Hi, Jennifer. I'm glad you got here while it was live too. Starseed 62 is from South Africa. Hello. Okay, True Talk asked, who's on the other end of those cards? Who's helping the children on the other end of those cards? Oh, I originally thought you were asking when I use cards, who's on the other end? And I want to be very clear that I do not channel um, directly. Okay. To me, that leaves you vulnerable and open to obsession and possession. So I always ask for my insights to come through my living creator or my higher self, because I know my higher self has my back. And that way, so I have done read for people when they said, does my mother who passed away last year have a message for me? I was willing to do that, but they had to understand that any insights I got were coming through my higher self, not because I directly was allowing mom into the situation. Okay, Neil Roberts. Looks like a personal question here. Are you still bullish on Alberta Premier Danielle Smith like you were last year? Yeah, I feel pretty positively about the job Danielle's doing. Okay, absolutely. The one that's doing the job now. I don't know that this is the original, but I do feel really positive about what she has done. She may ultimately be a placeholder for someone even better, but I don't think that the citizens of Alberta are having quite the issues that some of the other provinces are, and that's because of her leadership. If I'm not mistaken, she was the one. No, that was the governor here that said they wouldn't be accepting any illegal um, into the state with any kind of a welcome, that their welcome would come when they showed up with their citizenship papers. And I thought we need more people doing that, welcoming people that have gone through the steps to be here and to be part of us, not just using us. Okay. Yeah. So act of faith, I just answered you, at least for myself. I know a lot of card readers. They welcome other sources for their insights and intuition. I use mine similar to what you do when you ask God for a sign. I just use the cards for that. And then if you're not comfortable with that, have a nice life and go away. Okay. Let's see. I'm still looking for some current events here. Reading on the Bahama government, please, will they step down? Okay, let's go with Bahamas for the next one. Marcia Kay had that one. Now, I know nothing about the government in Bahamas. This is truly going to be insights from the cards on that. And that's good. That's the way it should be. I try to show you guys how I get curious about something or where I've seen something to kind of help you grow in your research capabilities. But for a tarot read, you just need the question and someone that's not trying to block it or be tricky about it. I'm really seeking insights and information on this situation or about this, relationship or what have you, and you go with it and read the cards. So we're going to ask if the government in Bahamas is, if they're likely to step down in the near future, and let's say in the next year, okay? Governmental changes in Bahamas within the next year with the government stepping down or some of the high-ranking officials there, plus any other insights or information. Okay, now we have available deck 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7. I'm looking at Julie Ann Lewis, the third number I see after Bill Rain. So third number. We got a 6, a 1, and a 7. Third number was a 7 with Linda Harvey. So I will go with deck 7. Okay. I apologize for I was planning to toggle back and forth with the cards into myself, and I apologize that I've had to do it this way. I hope you're still enjoying this live stream. And again, if you're not, or if you think tarot is evil, you are welcome to, oh, that came out. So the world popped out. So I think we're already going to get kind of a positive answer to this question. I'm going to put this back in the deck. I'm not going to set it aside. But when you have a card that really definitively pops out like that, it's good to pay heed to it. Okay? Sometimes I've had it be that the card that pops out is truly the answer. You don't need to go farther. You've got it right now. It's just a definitive boom. Here's your answer. And it may be what that card is telling us, that within the next year, there's going to be worldwide changes. But let's see. Let's see. In the next year, will there be some major change in the government of the Bahamas, plus other insights and information the universe wants us to know? Kachina knife spread. Oops. It's a little hard to switch from cafe size to regular size and back again. So, all right. Call that good. Okay, we've got the Four of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, lots of Pentacles showing up here. Okay. And Swords, I think we've got a yes, they're going to have some changes. And some of them may involve a ending of life. Wheel of Fortune, and the 6. So yeah, right now I can say Bahama government within the next year is going to have some major changes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. In the recent past, the groundwork for those changes that are coming in has already been done. And it has been very well thought out. This is a card of careful action, and there may be kind of like a military element involved with the groundwork for the change that's coming up. It may just simply be a nod to the fact that the White Hats and Alliance are trying to make things happen for the entire world. Okay, now the Four of Swords right there, when I saw that, I thought, ooh, okay, the cards aren't comfortable giving me all information right now. But we're getting enough to kind of know, okay, what's going on. There's usually some information that's not quite ready with this one. This card shows up when I'm asking about a situation that for whatever reason, the universe doesn't want us to have full access to answers. And usually it's because someone's safety would be impacted by it. And that's why I allow the cards to do the monitoring, and I don't, as far as questions I ask or things I share with you. So we got the Page of Pentacles showing up here, kind of telling us a little more about the situation. And the page is a very worthwhile effort card. So the changes are worthwhile. They're going to happen, and they need to happen. And so the Bahama government, or the government in Bahamas, needs to apparently make some changes. Now let's look at the near future. We got the 10 showing up here. So that's an ending card. Okay, absolutely an ending. Doesn't necessarily mean by loss of life, but definitely that within a year, there's going to be some big changes. Now here's why. I think it is kind of more of a nod that the entire world is going to have some big changes within the next year, because we got the Wheel of Fortune showing up. And because our world is going from dark to light, this is always a card talking about going more into the light, higher vibration, ascension type of energy. And remember, on the 17 posts, the very last word of the very last post is ascension. Ascension. So we're getting closer to that time, and it's going to be glorious. Absolutely. So yeah, The government in the Bahamas is going to have some changes in the next year, but I think it's related as much to the fact that the groundwork has been laid by people that want that change, as the fact that there's going to be some fundamental changes within a year in our plane of existence. Let's get 2 more cards and see if there's other insights or information the universe wants us to know. King of Pentacles. Oh, we're celebrating. Absolutely. Sovereignty. Okay, all is well. And pentacles are tangible assets. So it's real estate, gold, silver. So within a year, there's going to be some beautiful, wonderful changes to our world that all of us can celebrate. Okay, all of us. So this isn't just celebration, but this is celebrating some change and some abundance. So that's a beautiful card, isn't it? Okay, so that's it for this deck and this question. I'm kind of watching the time at the side here. I've been at this for 50 minutes, so I'm going to try to keep this live stream to about an hour, just so you know. Now I'm going to be looking at the chat and seeing another question. Okay. Hi, Marge. Manola. Nazarene, yes, she wants only people that are interested in serving humanity, not themselves. We all want that, and our world is going towards that, where good people will serve in good faith the needs of and represent the needs of their constituents, like so few do. Okay. Okay. Carol Lacey, it's kind of a yes or no question. Carol Lacey said, please ask if JFK Jr. will be Mr. T's VP. Now, there is a large group of people that believe that he has unofficially served in that capacity already. So let's ask the cards if in the coming months and next few years, if JFK Jr. will be publicly and openly a high-ranking possible VP or elected official type. Elected, or let's not go elected because he wouldn't be one that's, say, as you can see, it's real important how you phrase questions. So JFK Jr., will he openly be serving in a high position in government anytime in the near future? But I'm going to say in the next 4 years. Well, I can even say 2 years. Next 2 years, will JFK Jr. be openly serving in a high position, high government position? Okay. And the openly is critical here because we don't know how our world is going to change, but that would do it. Okay. So I'm looking at Nazarene Johnson. Now I'm going to take the third number I see after her comment. We got Nana Business, and then we have Nazarene Johnson, looking for 3 numbers. The deck open to you are 1, 3, 5, and 6. So I got a 3, a 1, and 8's gone. 7's gone. 1, 3, or 6, 3. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is my everyday, the deck I usually use. So it'll be a Kachina knife spread. No, I won't need a Kachina knife. Let's just do a 3-card draw on this. Answer, insights, answer, clarifying, and insights. Will JFK Jr. openly be serving in a high government position within the next 2 years? Well, and cards are falling, and that is just fumble fingers because it's way more than one. So let me just put them back in and shuffle thoroughly. And it will be a 3-card. I pictured the deck putting on the brakes, like, picture that sound of brakes, like on a cartoon. Hold it. She's not doing Kachina knife. It's 3-card. It's 3-card, guys. The first card's the answer. And then clarifier, and possible additional insights. So we're going for the gold here. We're not going to seek it out amongst a bunch of cards. We're just going to ask and let those 3 cards do their job. All right. Yes, that's our answer. Yes. Okay, and then telling us a little clarifier and then insights. Oh boy, talk about the universe coming through for us. Okay, guys, we got a hard yes. JFK Jr. will be, so there's absolutely no doubt that he is still on the earthly plane, that he did not die in that crash. Absolutely. Now, right now, there's waiting time still involved. It's not yet quite the right time for, so this is kind of a patient waiting card, but look here at the pool. So as our world makes some fundamental changes in the next couple of years, it's going to not only be possible, but is going to happen that he's going to be coming out and he is going to be serving in some sort of high capacity. Okay. Maybe on Starfleet, who knows, but serving, definitely, and openly serving so that we can welcome him back and he can be back safely. That's it for this deck and that question. Okay, let's reorder the decks that are left so people aren't confused. Plus, there's now quite a few gaps in them. There are 3 decks left. We're just going to call them 1, 2, 3. Okay? Oops. Sorry. Let's get it where you can see it. Got 1, 2, and 3. So. Okay. Okay. Okay, here's a quick one. Risky Biscuit wants to know, is the language Esperanto originally from beyond the ice wall? Okay, that's going to be a 3-card one. Now, I'm looking at, don't give me the numbers yet. I'm looking at Esther B just said, Kate, okay, there's 1. The 3rd number is going to be the one I take. It may be 1, but let's see. Everybody put your choice in, 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2. Okay, so I'll get deck number 2. It's the last of my little cafe-sized decks tonight. It's just beautiful. I think I love that. Hang on. I love that. So, 3-card draw is Esperanto, the language Esperanto, originally from beyond the ice wall. The first card is the answer. And then we get some clarifying and additional insights with the cards on either side. I love that JFK answer. It was like, boom. Esperanto. Here's our answer. If it's not clear, hang on, I'll make sure I just have 1 card. Okay, we have the 2 of Cups. Clarifying in case we weren't sure, we have the Ace of Cups. And Cups hold liquid, ice wall. Ice is a liquid. And Temperance. Okay, so yeah, we got another yes, guys. Absolutely have another answer yes to that. And I don't know anything about that language or anything, but we got a yes on that. Okay, now it looks like Temperance is kind of always talking about moderation, so the information may not be readily accepted by other people that we got here in the read. That's okay. Don't expect it to be widely accepted that we got a yes on this and that that's where the origin was, but we know that that's where it was. Okay. I'm going to take 1 more question and you'll have a choice of deck number 1 or 3 for it. Okay. Is the devil comet coming in going to cut out power or do anything damaging? Okay, again, something I don't know anything about. This is from Beth Ann Mattia. Is the devil comet that's coming in going to cut out power or do anything damaging? Let's get a Kachina knife spread on that one so we can get some more insights, okay? I'll get this running again. We got 1 or 3. I'm looking at Sheila Davis is fairly compromised, but I'm going with that final question to be that one about the comet. So let's get some numbers, either 1 or 3. The third number I see after Krista Smith says thanks here is going to be the one I go with, 1 or 3. 3, 1. It'll be deck number 1. Which is my foil deck. Don't bother complaining about how it shines and it's hard to see. I know it is. That's why I don't use it in the videos. But I wanted each deck to have clear energy and be able to answer a specific question without needing to be reset. I do feel the need to say, guys, like I said, I realized that not every tarot reader has the same code of ethics that I do as far as how they use the cards. So if you value how I do it, where I use them positively and prayerfully, and I'm very careful about the sourcing of my insights to be from our loving creator or my higher self, then seek out other readers who claim it the same way. Doesn't mean that others aren't getting good insights. It's just, if you appreciate the way I do it, understand that that's not everybody's way and practice. And in other words, as I always say, use your discernment, okay? Decide for yourself. Okay, now specifically to this question, it'd be Kachina knife spread, asking about that incoming devil comet. And will it be damaging in any obvious, apparent way, including, but not limited to, loss of power? On the table tonight to kind of help with the energy, I've got an obsidian pyramid, and then I have iron pyrite, clear quartz crystal with some natural faceting, and hematite. So let's see what the cards had to say. Just thought I'd share that with you. Oops. The first card was upside down, so I'm going on the assumption they all are. I'm going to turn the deck around. I always try to use the cards very candidly and openly. Now, if the second card proves to be upside down, I'll know I had an issue, and then we're going to adjust for that. We've got the King of Swords, the Chariot, Wheel of Fortune. Got the Knight of Swords, 5 of Pentacles. We have a 6 of Swords and a 4 of Cups. Okay. Actually, at an angle, it's not, the glare's worse on me right over them than it is on you. Situation is kind of is being indicated with the King of Swords, White Hat Alliance. In other words, this is a situation they are monitoring, and the event is going to be an event, that comet. But I'm not seeing that it's anything negative, okay? The Chariot showing up, Chariot shows up a lot of times when there's a need for a move. It's, again, a White Hat Alliance card. So the Wheel of Fortune is showing up in the near past. So yeah, it's going to be, this comet is going to have some kind of an effect that it will be observable and measurable, okay? But nothing that's negative. So I'm not seeing like power outages here. Maybe a little bit here with the 5 of Pentacles showing up here. But again, that's kind of a willingness doing without type of card. Okay. And then reassuring that is that the 6 of Swords is one where you're going from a place of less safety to more safety, and innocent life is treasured and protected in the process. This card always indicates that we'll need to kind of look around and not miss any pertinent information about it. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything. If there is a power outage that is attributed to the comet, it's not going to be widespread. It's not going to be last very long because there's just systems in place and they've hardened up a lot of our infrastructure against some outages. They've had several years to do it. It's been a priority in the background to do that because you can harden things to where they're almost electromagnetic proof. So it doesn't mean that we, the general public, have the same level of that kind of hardening in our personal infrastructures or community infrastructures like they do, in big trade centers and government buildings and bunkers and things like that. But we do have some of that. So it does look like it's going to be significant to some extent, but any effects it have aren't going to last for long, and there's not going to be really any kind of like harm to innocent life that is going to be widespread. Okay, so although another thing with the chariot showing up, if you feel like you're in harm's way and you want to make arrangements, don't feel silly about it. If you decide you want to go to high ground or stock up on candles or whatever you think you need to do for this event for your area, don't be embarrassed about doing it. Listen to your gut, which is what discernment is listening to your gut and go with it. Okay? But I'm not seeing a need to like evacuate huge wide areas. And remember, Wheel of Fortune is a good thing. Sometimes in a personal read, it can go either way. But for our world events right now, it's a positive. It's always a positive. So, okay, we're going to do this again sometime, and I'm going to figure out how I can get YouTube on a live stream to let me flip back and forth with the cameras. I'll do something. That's why in the past I even had a raised table I was working with. But I appreciate your patience. Again, home production, grandma. I'm not a digital native, doing the best I can. And I've really felt like the cards gave us some interesting insights and information tonight. I hope you did too. And then in my video description box, because this will remain up for viewing later, I will add the time and questions. So like I said, if you don't want to listen to the whole hour plus of this production, you can go to the question that interests you. Okay. And I thank you very much. We've got still over 600 people watching. I send you love and light. If you're not a subscriber and you'd like to, I would appreciate it. I'm really helping our channel grows, despite the fact that it's over-the-counter equipment and I'm just a grandma. But I am a patriot, a retired teacher, and I truly, truly believe our world is changing, and we can be part of that change just by working on being the best human, the kindest, best version of ourselves that we can be until those changes officially take place. So, all right, I'm going to end the stream shortly, and again, it'll be up. So if you felt like you wanted to add something to the live chat and didn't get that opportunity, you're welcome to comment later. I will read those. Actually, I'll be mining some of these questions during the week for videos. So ones I didn't get to that I think, oh shoot, I wish I'd seen that or we'd gotten to that. So appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're willing to receive it, I send you love and light and wish for you everything bright. Good night.